called Big Cat.
Deion.
Hey, Deion.
You ready for football?
I am.
It's another season, baby.
Pro Football Show.
All right, Deion. Showtime. Football is back.
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado. Week in and week out, the Silverado brings it with unstoppable grit and determination. We are back, week 7 of the NFL. Before we get to the conversation I know is about to start between Deion and Dan, we do have to welcome Nick Mangold.
Hall of Famer.
He's a Jets Ring
That's
of
the
Honor,
man.
legendary.
That is the man.
Well,
I love his
Hall
beard.
of Famer.
Yes, and of course you know a little bit about football.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
Deion mentioned before the show when you guys were talking that he wishes he had a young you, and you said you also wish that you had a young you at this point. But
Yes. Things just hurt all the time.
Yeah.
So a young me would be nice again.
You spent some time in the league, you
A
know.
couple of years. Took a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
Dan said he's going to teach both of you about football
I
today.
am.
So.
And look, I'll start because I had a bad week last week. It was a
You
terrible,
did?
terrible week.
You did?
This show,
What was your record?
advisors, I lost all my bets in real life. It was a complete debacle. This happens every year. I've been doing this for a very long time. There's always one Sunday that just absolutely kicks my teeth in. And on top of that, Deion's I believe about Russell Wilson was correct, so I'm here. Something that Deion would never do in a million years.
Oh, wow.
I am here to say I'm dumb. Deion's smart. I'm stupid. He's a genius. I'm bad looking. He's good looking. Like what?
I love
I'm
the
saying
Slim
it.
Shady.
I'm saying it all because you know what?
Kayce.
This is-
I love the Slim Shady.
This is
The way you flip
leadership.
that.
This is leadership.
I
Deion,
love the way
because
you
when,
flip
When
that.
Josh Allen beats Lamar Jackson, I don't get a text from you. I don't get anything from you.
I love the way you flip that
No.
you just shot yourself so I couldn't do it.
No,
I
listen,
love
I'm,
that.
I'm
Is
here.
brilliant.
I suck. I suck.
No,
saw-
you really do.
Yeah.
No, you really do.
I
You said it was
that
just
first.
this week.
I said that first.
Yeah,
You
but
got
you
ahead of
said
the
it was
narrative,
this week.
Deion.
You said it was this week, and you're picking on a 49% clip.
It's
that
bad.
means you're under half right. So that's not just this week. It's been all season. You've been garbage.
Yeah.
But I'm not here for that. I'm not one to talk about others. I'm the kind of guy that lift others up. So we understood that you said you're as garbage. I did not say that whatsoever, but I agree. But let's get on with the show. We got a new guest, and I love him. I admire him. I'm jealous of his beard and all of that.
Okay.
And just so we are clear, and Dan, I'm sorry I have to do this. I do have to read the records from last week.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay,
Listen,
all right, okay.
just so we're all clear, I pick the Bears every week, and they're a terrible football team.
That he will never not pick the Bears. So the records were Deion went 8-6. Eddie picking for Dave. By the way, Nick, you do pick for Dave if that matters at all.
Dave ever comes back.
Yeah, if Dave ever comes back
Dave's not coming.
It would count,
towards
His
Dave's.
record.
but as an Ohio State guy,
Yeah.
You know, that's a good
That would
point.
be
I
actually
could
interesting
actually
if
then,
you.
Yes.
if I,
Oh.
so if I pick bad,
Yeah.
It goes
That
against
hurt
his
Dave.
record.
It would be a real
Yes.
shame.
It would be a real
real
shame.
shame.
A real shame.
I would hate for something like that to happen.
You were actually saying to me before that you love the Panthers against the Bucks this week.
I think they're guaranteed win.
That was your lock of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so. Yeah. So,
They missed out on the coach getting fired. You usually get a bump off of that.
Yeah.
They forgot about that last week.
Now
this
they got
week,
Yeah.
yeah. So just know there's no accountability for you with these picks. It's just for Dave's overall record if he ever does come back. So Eddie did go 7-7 last week, and Dan went 4-10. It's a new week though.
It was a bad week.
Wow.
I got my lungs ripped out. I got my
new
guts
week.
ripped
Wow,
out.
that
I
was
was
horrible.
strewn about on Sunday night. I had the whole internet, ripping me apart. And guess what? I'm still here. I'm gonna pick every game. I'm gonna bet every game. I'm still here.
That's why I love it.
You can't
Yes.
put me in the grave.
No.
It's right.
You can
Sticks and
bankrupt
stones
me.
may break
Should
his
be.
bones.
Yeah,
but-
they're trying
but
to
sticks
bankrupt me.
Will definitely hurt him.
My family won't be able to afford a coffin when I do go in the grave, but you can't put me in the grave.
Not dark at all. It's not, it's okay. It's all right. We'll start over. Before we move on, though, Deion, I asked Nick if he had ever met you before, and he said that he interviewed you for the Today Show, and it was only 2
Yes.
minutes long, and he said he did not think you would remember it.
Yes, I did. It was in New Orleans, or Louisiana, or somewhere like that. Where was it?
Atlanta, but close.
That's
it was in the
close.
South.
That place is-
Yeah. We were outside of these right by the stadium, right?
Yes, sir.
There
right
you
by the
go.
highway.
That's
So
why I
see,
thought
you
it was
gotta go.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
You gotta come.
You're right.
Deion
Yeah.
doesn't drink, so his memory's
Right.
great.
He doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs.
Right.
Do you remember what the interview was about? Nick, what was it just?
No, I
just,
do drink in.
Nick did a good job. though. He did a good job.
You
He
don't
was-
remember.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what?
He did a
Again,
good job.
we don't have to be accountable there. Let's get to the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We are going to start with the Colts at the Titans. Dan, I'll start with you. Matt Ryan had a franchise record day against the Jags last week. The Titans coming off the bye week. But when you look at what Matt Ryan is doing, do you think that was just last Sunday, or you think this could be something that maybe he's got something under control again?
I think that was just a great game plan against a Jaguars team that struggled against the pass and been very good against the run. And I don't expect it to happen again. The Titans are the weirdest team in the NFL year in and year out because it feels like we forget about them constantly, and then they always win 9, 10, 11 games and win the South. These two teams played each other 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, 3 weeks ago. I just think the Titans are the better all-around team coming off of a bye, not having to deal with, having an ancient quarterback in Matt Ryan. I'm taking the Titans at home.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm looking at this coming off the bye and, Vrabel, being able to kind of look at everything that's been going on and say, hey, this is what we need to do to beat this Colts team. The Colts, I don't know what they are. I mean, you look at them, they beat Kansas City, but then they lose to, they lose to Tennessee, they lose to Jacksonville. Like,
Yep.
What is
They
this
barely
team?
beat the Broncos.
Like,
yeah.
The Broncos.
The Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos
great.
are bad. They
Woof.
tied the Texans.
Yeah,
the
tied.
Colts.
Also
start
woof.
off. So you don't know what you're getting with this Colts team. So I think Tennessee is going to come out. I think they're going to run the ball. I think it's going to be an easy win for the Titans.
Deion?
I love a team when it has a couple weeks to prepare for a certain team. I love it. Matt Ryan, love him, longtime Falcon. I've been there with them every step of the way, right, Dan? But I'm going to go with Tennessee on this one because I don't trust the Colts. I don't know who they are, what they are, how they are. We were thinking about they're going to have a tremendous running game. You put in Matt Ryan, his accuracy, his leadership. They were going to go propel themselves into the playoffs. And by the way, Dan, this is one of the worst divisions in football. Let's
Yeah.
not give them a lot of credit for having a great division. This division is horrible, so the Titans should win this division. So I'm going with the Titans this week.
Yeah, no, it's a bad division, but I just think that every year we do the same thing where it's the Titans almost get forgotten. And I'm not saying they're very good. I just think that there's a lot of not very good teams right now. Why can't the Titans be one of the better of that group? Like right now in the NFL,
Good, bad.
it's Bills, Chiefs.
But when I said it was a good, bad team, you didn't agree with me. But we're not going to even go there today.
Oh,
You
the
remember
good,
that?
bad versus the bad.
Yeah.
that derailed
Yes.
us for like an hour.
That was 2 years ago, and I still don't know what the answer was.
Pittsburgh Steelers are the best, worst team in the league. They really are.
So you have no
Oh,
faith in them?
I disagree.
None.
I think they're the flip. They're the worst best team. Of all the good teams, they're the worst of them.
That's what he said.
No, you said the best worst team.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
best.
you're
good.
saying
No,
the
that's
same thing.
No, it's not.
No, we're saying the same
No,
you are.
no,
No,
absolutely not.
he's saying that the
same
Steelers.
thing.
You're saying the Steelers
No.
are a
Yeah,
bad
you
team.
are.
No.
You're saying the same
No.
thing. Yes,
No.
you are.
It was the best bad team versus the worst best team, is what it was.
It's the best bad team versus the worst. Yeah, the Titans are perennially one of the worst best teams.
Worst best teams.
Yes.
No, they're a good bad team.
No.
Thank
They're
you.
not bad.
Thank you.
They're not
Thank
bad.
you, Nick. Thank you. Thank
No,
you,
they're
sir.
not a bad team. I don't want to do this again.
Yeah, this is-
But I'm right.
Nick, I have
No, you're not right.
always
Nick
in
and
the
I are
group-
right.
No, they're always in the group of good teams, but they're at the bottom of the good teams.
They're the worst best team.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, so you agree with me.
No,
Okay.
I agree with Nick.
And you guys are saying they're the best worst team.
Right.
No.
I think they're a very good bad team.
There you go.
So yeah.
No,
So
I
that's a different-
disagree. Yeah,
this-
no, I disagree. I don't think they're a bad team that's better than everyone. Like, they're the worst team that's less than everyone who's above. Like, yeah, no, all right, fine.
This happened
Fine.
in
I'm right.
2020, and we still don't
Everyone
have an
will
answer.
agree with me.
As you can
2020 was
see,
weird
we
as
still don't have
you
an
agree
answer.
with me.
Jerry
he's
doesn't agree with you.
all right.
Well, Jerry's also completely covered except for his
Yeah.
eyeballs, so I don't think we know exactly what he
You're
thinks.
wrong, Dan.
No, I'm
Oh,
not
he
wrong.
said you're wrong.
You think the Titans are a bad team?
They're a bad, good team, yeah.
No, that's
So that's
me.
what Dan
yeah, you
says.
said me. Yeah.
I agree.
Oh,
Dan's saying they're the worst best
Yes,
team.
they're the worst best team.
They're a bad, good team.
You got thumbs up.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So that's good. Jerry has Dan's back,
Jerry
as
makes
always.
the most sense here.
Always.
Imagine that.
Yeah, Jerry always makes the most sense. All right, let's get to a game, Nick, I'm excited to talk to you about. Let's go to the Jets at the Broncos. We've talked about the Broncos. They are just not looking great at all. However, your Jets are rolling. The excitement around the team looks great. How much fun is it to watch, before we get into this matchup, how much fun is it to watch what the Jets are doing?
It's so much better this year. We've had some rough years. This year is so exciting. We're on a 3-game win streak, which is huge.
Yeah.
Haven't had one of those in a lot of years. So I'm excited for this season as we've been going. I'm especially excited about this game. Finally get to see the Jets not at 1 p.m. Just because they're playing on the West Coast. But still,
it's 4 o'clock game.
4 o'clock game. That's exciting. There's only so many of those.
Yep.
So, this one for me, just as Dan has to take the Bears, unlike Deion, I only played on one team. I have to take the Jets. It's
We were just on the same team. We were just together a minute ago. 3 minutes ago, we were just singing Ebony and Ivory. 3 minutes ago, we sang it Ebony and Ivory. Get together. Then you turn around and go with him.
Well, no, we're still good.
I have a question for you, Nick, about this game.
Yes.
Okay, I think the Jets, I was wrong about the Jets. I think they are good. They have a lot of really good top-end young talent. Breece Hall's a monster. Quinton Williams playing great. Sauce Gardner's by far the real deal. Is there a letdown coming at some point? Because you were on a young team that was having success in the Jets organization back when you guys went to the AFC Championship games. Was that first ascent where you start winning some games? Is there a scare that maybe a little too cocky and you have that adjustment happen where it's like, oh, we can't just roll out the helmets and win every week?
Yes, and that was Rex's big thing. He would always talk about, we just can't go and throw our jock straps out there.
Right.
We have to actually go play the games. And that's what he was concerned about, was that, you get a couple of wins, you got a young team, they just expect to go out and win when you still have to fight for the win. So I am a little concerned.
Was there one game that happened that you can remember?
No, I don't remember things.
Okay, all right.
The drinking and the drugs you mentioned earlier.
I can find it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find it. But that is definitely a fear in my mind. These guys are going and they're playing well, and I think the coach has them doing good things. But I am worried that there's going to be the other shoe dropping at some point where it's going to be a letdown game. I don't know where it's going to be. I hope it's not this week, since I've already picked the Jets.
Yeah, it's a learning lesson is coming for the Jets, even though I think they still are a very good team, and I think they could absolutely be in the playoffs this year. I'm going to take the Broncos just because.
My God!
Damn.
Here's why: the letdown, and the Broncos could not be worse. The Broncos could not look worse. And that we know how the NFL goes. When you have a team that could not look worse versus a team that looks incredible and is ascending, that's when weird shit happens. And I know Russell Wilson's injured. I know the Broncos are a mess. And this is almost like trying to catch a knife through the air. I could end up with just a cut hand because maybe the Jets are just that much better than the Broncos. But it always feels like when we get these games where it's one team going up, one team going down, they always kind of find the middle.
Well, especially when you mention all those guys, you had Sauce Gardner wearing the cheese head after beating the Packers.
And I like their vibe.
Yeah,
they
and
should
Bryce,
be cocky.
Well, I think he did his own Lambeau leap. So those are really cool things. But if you are looking at a letdown, it could potentially be
a game
against the Broncos.
They see that and they watch the Broncos on Monday Night Football and they're like, this team stinks. We're going to be able to go and just dominate them.
Yeah.
I hate that I like that reason.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
Just cover your ears. It's fine. You have to take the Jets.
But on the flip side, the Broncos might just suck so bad that it doesn't matter. That's absolutely in play. That's that's the catching the falling knife part where it's I keep seeing oh, maybe this is a Broncos spot, and they just end up winning 4 games, and I keep saying that till December.
Yeah, Deion,
it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, Deion, you mentioned. Yeah, about to say you mentioned that you thought if they lost last week, which they did, that Russell Wilson would be hurt, and he does have a hamstring injury. So
if this game stinks, by meaning his performance, stinks.
What are they going to do? Pay him the rest of his $250 million guaranteed?
No, you're going to see him go out with a injury, surgery, or something. He's going to get out of there.
Yep.
This year.
I like that.
He's going to get out of there. He's going to get out of there. Quarterbacks are not made and not built psychologically to take that kind of badgering. The social media, they love it, but they can't take it.
Yep.
He's going to get out of there. And then you're going to hear former Seahawk players come out of the woodwork taking shots. Watch.
I like that. That's a good
I don't want
believe.
that. I don't want that to happen because I like Russell, but that's what's going to happen.
He is day to day.
Okay, this is two scenarios. Let me check this out. What the Jets are doing right now, finally they got a collection of men that was winners in college, winners, period, up under the same roof. Not a bunch of guys who lost, and they put them all together, and they come from here and come from there. These guys are winners, and they don't accept losing, and they got that attitude, they got that swagger, they got that it thing about them, and they're winning right now. They're not going to do for a letdown because they feel like the Denver Broncos shouldn't even be on the same darn field with them. Now, this is what's going on with the Denver Broncos. You got a quarterback that was supposed to come in and be the savior, and he's not. Those guys do not believe in their quarterback. And this man sitting right by you, he can tell you, if you don't believe in your quarterback, ain't nothing you can do in that locker room. It's nothing you can do. It's a wrap. It's over because there's going to come a point in that game where your quarterback's going to have to do something. And if you don't have that guy that can pick the team up, you're in for another loss. The Denver Broncos have fallen and they can't get up. It's not going to happen. I'm going with the Jets.
And Deion, my bet on the Broncos more is their defense is phenomenal. This is a great game for guys like Deion because Sauce Gardner and Pat Surtain are two of the best young cornerbacks in the game. Pat Surtain, he put the clamps on Mike Williams. That wasn't. I think he's given up 150 yards all season. It's crazy how good he is.
Yeah,
and he's 24 years old.
So when you look at, before we move on, Nick, when he talks about the quarterback situation, from a Russell Wilson standpoint going to Denver, does this surprise you through 6 or 7 weeks how bad it actually is?
Yes and no. I think you kind of got rumblings of that in Seattle as his time was drawing to an end there. And then, you have that promotional let's ride. Yeah. And once you see that, you're kind of already behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not what you're looking for.
So if you're in that locker room, if you're one of Russ's offensive linemen, is there anything could he come in and just be like, look, I've been cheesy as hell, sorry. Let's not, don't say let's ride, but be like, let's be real with each other. Is there a speech he can give that can get everyone back?
I think that would be a great speech.
Yeah.
Listen, the money went straight to my head.
Right.
I'm back, guys.
Right. No more let's ride. Let's just try to go win a game.
Let's go out there and just win a game.
I'm not going to tweet through this anymore. I'm not going to try to be positive.
I don't think he's going to do that, but I do think that is what is needed in that locker room.
That would be the best.
It's not going to happen. A couple more games, they pull it in. It's going to be a season-ending surgery. I'm telling you, it's going to happen next year. It's going to be over.
But
I guarantee you.
If he was going to take advice from this panel, just be a normal human.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple.
Just be normal.
Just be like, I suck, guys.
Just be normal.
Do exactly what I did at the beginning of this when I was like, I suck at picking games.
That's
but I'm
leadership.
Still here.
Yep.
That's leadership.
Be a leader and be normal.
Yeah,
that's all you can do.
Try to win
Russ.
one game. That's all we're going to try to do.
And Deion, you are taking the Jets, correct?
Yes, of course.
Of course. All right, let's go to the Chiefs at the 49ers. Deion, I will start with you. The Chiefs losing that absolute thriller to the Bills last week. It was the best game of the week, I think, by far. The 49ers sucked against the Falcons. When you look at what Patrick Mahomes did at the end of that game versus Buffalo, and then you look at how Jimmy Garoppolo is struggling, the two differing quarterbacks, what do you think is going to happen in this game?
It seems like San Francisco always plays big when they need to play big. I would love to take San Francisco, but I'm just too sold on the Chiefs and their scoring ability. I just know to beat the Chiefs, you're going to have to put up at least 20 points. You're going to have to score 20 to beat the Chiefs, and I don't know if the 49ers are capable of that right now. I love Garoppolo. A lot of people don't like him. I love Garoppolo. One bad darn pass during his whole career, and everybody turned on the guy. The guy's been playing. He's been a good quarterback in the NFL in our league. I'm going to stay with the Chiefs, though, just because of who they are.
Dan?
I'm looking at they have so many guys out, the 49ers. I'm worried about that part. They've lost a lot of guys on defense that feels like it's piling up. But I agree with what Deion says. The 49ers find a way. They lose games like the Falcons game, and then they get up big for these type of games. It's tough because it's two teams that lost last week, but I'm going to go with the 49ers as well. And I have a question for Nick.
Go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, Josh Allen's playing better than him, beat him head-to-head, but Patrick Mahomes, we all agree, best quarterback in the NFL.
Don't go for it, Nick.
Your guy Lamar can't win a fucking game.
Yeah,
He can't hold the
yes, he
fourth
can.
quarter.
Yes, he can.
Oh boy.
Yes, he
I know
can.
we're gonna get to
Yes,
this
he
in a
can.
little bit, but
Yes,
here
he
it is.
can.
Fourth quarter lead.
Yes, he can.
Okay.
We will get to the
Please.
Ravens, and I
Don't interrupt me, Deion.
Sorry, I apologize.
Is there anything, if you're an offensive lineman for Patrick Mahomes, you're obviously happy you're playing for such a phenomenal talent. But is there a small part of you that's like, dude, you don't have to drift 20 yards back on every play? Does that suck for offensive linemen?
Yes, it does suck not knowing where the quarterback is, but then at the same time he makes his plays.
Right.
So you're like,
so it's like,
fine.
who cares? Right. Right. But there's probably a couple times you're like, dude, I had a clean pocket for you. Why'd you leave it?
Yeah, and especially if you get a holding call. Like
Yeah.
he's running around making magic happen and he throws it, and you're like, oh, this is great, but I got a holding call because you were not where you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Then you're like, that kind of stinks.
So I guess
But-
that's a good answer. So it's basically, it sucks if you're anyone besides Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes is so good, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
all right, he might not be there, but he's going to make a play,
Right.
and you're going to win the game. And
Right.
that's all.
versus somebody who flushes the pocket and just continuously
Just
can't
suck.
make
Yeah.
can't make the
And then
throws.
just get sacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way worse.
You don't want
Yeah.
to see that.
No.
Yeah, no, he makes crazy plays whenever he's moving around, and it's like he keeps plays alive for so goddamn long. He's incredible.
Incredible. And I mean, even when he makes the mistakes like he did last week against the Bills, you know that that's a rarity to see him do. So when you look at this game, do you think you're going to see Patrick Mahomes at full force again?
I think so. I think after losing to Buffalo in the fashion that they did, it was a close game, hard fought battle. I think they need to come out and put a stamp, like, hey, listen, just because we lost to Buffalo doesn't mean that we're knocked out. Like, we're still here. And so I think they go into San Fran and put a whooping on them.
How do you feel about Jimmy Garoppolo? Because I know Deion said everybody kind of turned on him. He clearly wasn't supposed to be the starter this year, but as an offensive lineman watching him play, where do you stand on him as the
I
quarterback?
like Jimmy G. I've always been a fan of his. I was shocked like how quickly they turned on him in San Fran. Like it seemed odd, and especially the way they handled everything with being the backup, doing a whole new contract, and like it didn't feel right. Like something was just messed up there. So I'm happy that he's getting his opportunity, and I'd like to see him do well. He's not going to win this week, but I would like to see him do well and continue on.
I'm switching my pick to the Chiefs.
Officially?
Yes.
We're not
I'm
flipping
riding with
again.
Nick. No, I'm
okay.
riding with Nick.
Dan is riding with Nick. Let the record show.
Smart man.
Yep.
He's not going to ride with me, but he'll ride with Nick.
Yep.
Well, Deion, that's nothing new.
I
You
was
know
with
that.
you on the last game. The last game we had the same. We both. Wait, did you?
you took the
you took.
Broncos.
He took-
I took the Broncos. What are the
He took
Titans?
the
You have
Jets.
Titans?
Yes.
Okay, so we ride together on that.
That's another stat we should start keeping is which picks that Dan and Deion are on the same page. So
I
we
have
know.
to make up ground. I have
That
to
is
flip.
true.
I have to start
It
flipping
is true.
some games.
Can't fault you there. We'll pick some more games in just a little bit, but let's go to #IBelieve, which is presented by Verizon's Google Pixel 7 Pro. The new Pixel 7 Pro is super. It's the most advanced Pixel to date, super powered to launch faster, load quicker, and run smoother, totally supercharged. And when it's on Verizon, you get the network America relies on, along with a super deal because now when you switch to Verizon, you can get a free Google Pixel 7 Pro with select trade-ins and select 5G unlimited plans. There's never been a better time to switch to Verizon. Additional terms and conditions do apply. Visit Verizon.com for details. All right, Dan, before the show, you made a very bold
Ready
declaration
to
that
go.
you had not only one good I believe,
Two I believes.
but two.
Two.
So I'm going to let you start.
Okay. So I know this is a pro football show, but I love college football. Watch every
Me
game.
too.
Every game. My first I believe. I don't know who they're playing this week. I have no idea, but take this team. It's a guarantee. The Campbell Fighting Camels. Whoever they're playing this week, you take them to win. Guaranteed.
Nick, don't go with that. He's
are they
ignorant.
playing?
He's ignorant. He's ignorant. Don't even ride with that.
That was my
Nick,
first
don't
I
get in the
believe.
car with him on that.
They might be
And
playing
this-
Jackson State. Jackson State's going to win by 50. That's my actual I believe. Jackson State's going to put it on them, 50 burger. That's an I believe that you can take to the bank.
Well,
okay?
and the best part is by the time that this airs and everybody sees it,
Yeah.
we will know
Yeah.
exactly what happened
Yeah.
in that game.
But take Jackson State by 50, I
Okay.
believe, number one. Number two, I've crunched some numbers. I've looked at some schedules. The Pittsburgh Steelers 18-1 to win the AFC North.
Don't do that because Jerry's over there. Don't do that.
Be quiet.
My
Dan.
guy Jerry's been in my ear. He's been chirping
Jerry's
me.
crying.
We sit next to each other. He's like, Dan, I've looked at the schedules. The Bengals are a gauntlet. The Browns stink.
Don't
We
do
got to
that
play the
to
Ravens
Jerry.
twice. The Steelers are going to make a run here. TJ Watt's coming back. I'm hopping on
Don't do
with
it.
Jerry. That
Don't
is my
do
I
it.
believe. The Steelers are going to win the AFC North.
Love it.
It's the
He
dumbest
loves
I
it.
believe of all time.
No, it's not.
He says it's not dumb.
It's not
Jerry says
stupid.
it's not dumb.
I mean, look what he's wearing.
All Steelers, even down to the shoes. I do love the shoes, too.
It's not dumb. It's not dumb.
Black and gold all over.
Yeah.
All right, Nick,
Wow.
what do you have for your I Believe this week?
I believe that this week will make or break Tampa Bay's season.
Ooh, I like
Wow.
that.
That's a
They're
good
up
one,
against
Nick.
Carolina. They're struggling right now. The concerns with Tom and his off the field activities. If they don't come out, and I believe they're going to win.
Yeah.
They will win against the Panthers. But if they don't look good doing it, it's going to be a tough road to go down because I'm a little concerned.
That's a great I believe, and I couldn't agree more because it's like they got to win this game and they got to win it convincing.
They need to come out and just beat the brakes off.
And when you watch these games, Tom is clearly frustrated, and obviously the moment went viral last week where he was just ripping into his offensive line as somebody who played offensive line. When that's happening, the fans are sitting there like, well, it's Tom Brady. But in those moments, what goes through your head?
My biggest thing, and I saw it when it popped up, he was in New York City for Robert Kraft's wedding celebration.
Friday night.
night. And, then I saw that he flew from New York to Pittsburgh to meet up with the team. So he skipped Saturday morning meetings and walkthroughs and everything. And to me, as a team guy, if you're doing that, are you really bought into the team? Are you there? And I know Saturday morning walkthroughs and meetings really don't mean that much in the game planning scheme. You already know everything that's going on. But there's that sense like, and listen, we all know Tom Brady's above the team. Like, it's Tom Brady, right? Everyone gets that. But he could have easily just flown back to Tampa Friday night after the party and then been there Saturday and, be with the team. Because when you see him berating the offensive line, when you're not in the locker room the morning before and on the plane going up to Pittsburgh, like, it's not a great look.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I like that. As an offensive lineman, I don't want to get yelled at by a guy who wasn't there because he was at a party.
Regardless of if it's Tom Brady or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if
that makes sense.
You miss because you have a medical emergency, one of your kids gets sick, like those things happen. But a party where you're going out just to hang out and have a good time with, which I know he's very close to Mr. Kraft and everything, and I get that. But when you're doing these things on your own time and you're skipping our time, that hurts a little bit.
Especially when the whole world is watching you berate your offensive line.
Yeah. And you're just going to sit there and take it because it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yep.
Deion, where do you stand on that? I know you're a big Tom guy.
No,
and-
Nick, well, I'm a big team guy. I mean, honestly, Nick is 100% right on. You could fathom doing that stuff if you're undefeated and you rolling. I mean, offense is rolling. You can, but you would explain that to your guys before you do it. You don't just do it with no explanation. You got to explain it to your guys. I would have a tough time doing it because I've always been a guy that's been right there. I've always been a guy that's been right there. So that would be tough for me.
Team player. He's a team player.
Are you going to bring up last season?
No.
Oh.
Except when you had to play baseball.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know why I got scolded? You know why I got scolded? Because I got on a darn plane to go be there for my darn football team.
That's true.
I was not going to leave my guys hanging.
You were there.
Yeah, I wasn't going to leave my guys hanging against Dan Marino. You're going to have a secondary without me against Dan Marino? That was going to happen. Okay, let me get to my stuff. I got two. And this is going to be a time-conscious type of thing, like my dear friend Dan did last week. So you're going to have to wait on this to mature. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are old school, not old fools. When it's all said and done, when it's all over by the end of the season, these two guys will be in the playoffs, going at it, trying to get to a Super Bowl. I know it don't look good right now, but when it's all said and done, they will be there in the end.
I don't
like
hate
that.
that one either. I think they probably will be.
You hate the Aaron Rodgers part of it?
Yeah,
but-
I mean, I hate the Aaron Rodgers part, but I just don't. I don't think the NFC's that deep. And outside the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Vikings, am I missing anyone? I think those are the only three teams that have seemed like they got their shit together, so to speak, through 6 weeks.
True.
And the Giants,
True.
I'll throw the Giants in there, but
No, you can't throw them. They're
Yeah.
not ready. Those quarterbacks aren't ready.
But-
This guy is not ready.
But
for the playoffs.
I would, if I had to put my life on the line, I would say both those Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers would be in the playoffs.
All right, Deion, what's your second, I believe? Or did you
That
say
was
you
it.
had two?
That was it. Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers
those are
and
two.
Tom
Aaron
both
Rodgers
of them. I
and
thought it
Tom
was.
Brady.
That's
Yeah.
my fault.
Aaron
I thought it was
and Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, a collective one.
Yep.
Okay, we've been talking to Jersey Jerry throughout the show as always, but it is time for him to come onto the set, into his spotlight for the Game Time Game of the Week. Score last-minute tickets to this week's Game Time Game of the Week or any sport, concert, and show with the Game Time app. Download the app, create an account, and redeem code football for $20 off your first order. Terms do apply. I will turn Deion around as always. Jerry, how you doing today?
Great. Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be
so
better.
last week the vibes were a little bit down,
Yep.
but then you guys beat the Bucs.
We beat the Bucs.
So
We
you're-
beat Tom Brady. We were the better football team that day.
So you're happy now.
Happy. Season's back on.
Season's back on. Dan took the future with him too.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you go down. The Steelers already went through their gauntlet. They're in it right now. They only have another game. Huh?
Don't they have to play the Bills next week?
No. They're playing.
They already played the Bills. They
Yeah, they're
smoked
going
by
to play the Eagles the following week.
Oh, Eagles.
And that's it.
That's a bloodbath.
Yeah, but that's it. That's their gauntlet for the whole year. It lightens up so much. The Bengals still have to do it. Browns still have to do it. Ravens, we got 2 games against them. So season's back on. TJ Watt coming back.
Your guy.
Yeah, I mean, and Kenny looks okay. He looks pretty good. He looks comfortable.
And Mitch Trubisky came in and played
Yes,
all right
he looked good.
Why
He
don't you
looked
give
good.
some credit to Mitch?
I just did. I said he looked good.
Okay.
Tomlin came out. Listen, I'm not the coach. Tomlin came out and said, if Kenny's healthy, he's going to go. He's going to be the starting quarterback. He's QB1.
But if he isn't QB1, if he gets injured, Mitch played pretty well.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Jerry, we're not concerned about the fighting in the locker room?
Between Deontay and Mitch?
I mean,
Well, Mitch-
What happened?
mid-game?
Yeah, Mitch isn't the starting quarterback.
Wait, what happened?
So apparently the rumor was halftime, Deontay Johnson went at Mitch. And then Mitch got pulled and Kenny Pickett got put in that Jets game.
In the Jets game, okay.
Yes. Story came out. Tomlin denied it pretty much, said, I'm not talking about it. Deontay Johnson said, no, it did happen, but we're past it now.
Okay.
Are you sure you're past it?
Yeah, I think Deontay's past it.
Jerry, if you got
simmering?
nerve to go at the starting quarterback, that's a problem, don't you
Well,
think?
no. He's not the starting
he wasn't
quarterback.
the time.
Well, no. He was then.
Yeah, at the time, yes, he was.
You don't go at your starting
Well,
quarterback under
Deion,
no
you don't think
circumstance.
the guys know? They know Kenny's the guy. That's why they're doing this. They're trying to push him out. You know what I mean? I got nothing bad to say about Mitch, but the receivers know.
Answer
But
me
if he
this.
gets hurt,
Answer me this,
you got to
Jerry.
go back to Mitch.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go back.
And they
to
did
Mitch.
last
It happened
week.
last week, and Mitch won you the game. Have you ever showered at Mitch's house?
I have not.
Have you ever showered at Kenny Pickett's house?
I have, yes.
Okay, now rest my case.
All right, so this game, though, you have the Giants at the Jags for your Game Time Game
Yes.
of the Week.
Yes, this line is really, really fishy. Really fishy. New York Giants on top of the world right now. People are loving the coach. Great. It all looks good. They got some momentum. But let's not forget, this roster really isn't that good. They really aren't. They should be, right, in this game, what the record says, they should be a favorite. They're not. You know why? Vegas, they know something. The Giants aren't winning this game. I will go with the Jaguars this game.
Wow.
Yes,
Jerry.
Deion, yes. I'm telling you. They're trying to make you take the Giants. It's not going to happen for me.
I didn't know
Wow.
if Deion was can come back.
I
with
love
you,
this
or,
pick.
know.
I'll
No,
back
I
up
believe in
Jerry.
Jerry.
Oh, he believes.
I
it.
believe
Okay.
in Jerry.
This is very similar to the Broncos-Jets situation that I was talking about.
Yes.
The Jags have looked
Same.
terrible. The Giants have looked great. Something's got to meet in the middle.
Yep.
So when you look at, I know we don't pick against the spread on
Yeah.
this. We don't look at the line, but the Jags -3.
Against a 5-1 team makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think this is the Jags they should have won that game against the Colts. They played pretty well and they were up the majority of the game. I think they're gonna have a good game on Sunday and put four quarters together.
Nick, what do you think?
I'm with him on the line of it. Like it seems stinky, but I also am a product of New York, and being a New York Jets player, I do not like the Giants.
Fair.
So out of spite, I'm picking the Jaguars.
It is probably a weird thing for you and for guys that have played either for the Giants or the Jets because both teams are playing well right now. So all of New York is happy. You don't want to see that. You want the Giants to be down bad
Yeah, I
and
want
you
them
to be
to
high.
be terrible.
Yeah.
It has to be good. Like
Yeah.
right now, like we're splitting the back page when I want it just to be the Jets. So
First time since 2010 that the Giants and Jets have combined for 9 wins through 6 weeks.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So somebody has to fall, and since you're on the set, we're going to say the Giants are going to fall.
that's my thought.
All right, Deion, what do you think?
Wow. So both of those guys are going with the Jags? Mm-hmm. I'm going with the Giants, just because.
Just because you want to pick against them, or you really believe the Giants are?
Just because.
Me, I see.
It's just hard for me to just say I'm picking the Jacksonville Jaguars with a straight face. It's just hard because it's been just a decade of garbage. It's just hard.
Okay. That's a reason enough. You're not riding with Dan, so we'll mark that one down as well. You're taking the Giants, which, at their record, it's not a terrible pick. So 2 guys on the Jags, 1 on the Giants. Let's go to the rapid fire games of the week presented by Cross Country Mortgage. Players watch game film to prepare. Finding your dream home is no different, and Cross Country Mortgage is the partner that's prepped to put you in position to win. Reach out to us today at ccm.com/Barstool. That's ccm.com/Barstool, ccm.com/Barstool. Equal housing opportunity in MLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval in MLSconsumeraccess.org. All right, Deion, I know that it's been mentioned earlier in the show, but now we're going to get into Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Right.
They are at home against the Browns this week. I'm just going to give you the stage here because, Lamar did have those 2 late turnovers. Dave was chirping you on Twitter.
Yep.
That doesn't concern you.
No, not whatsoever, because the defense has to show up. I think they're scoring enough points, but the defense is not showing up. Lamar really is the MVP of the league right now, but, that guy sitting down there in front of you, he's not going to say so. So I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson's Ravens.
Dan, do you believe he's the MVP of the league right now?
Lamar Jackson?
That's what he said.
Did he say that?
He did say that.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's good to know that you're back, Deion.
He did.
I mean, that's crazy. You can't hold a fourth quarter lead. You can't hold a fourth quarter lead.
How about the defense had something to do with that?
How about getting some first downs and icing the game away? Do something they.
Well, he does.
He didn't throw a pick.
He does
last
with
week?
his arm
He didn't throw a pick
and
last week?
his legs.
He didn't throw the pick last
quarterbacks
week?
do.
Okay.
Yeah, all the quarterbacks do.
I'll take the Ravens in this game because the Browns are a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I don't understand what Kevin Stefanski's doing. He has the best running game in the NFL. His defense stinks. Play some situational football and make it a 2-hour game. Mm-hmm. It's so stupid. I'd be so mad if I were a Browns fan.
Nick?
Unlike Dan, I'm not a Lamar hater.
I'm not either. He's boxed me in.
You're a good man.
It
You're a
sounds
good
like you're a
man.
hater.
Nope.
He really is.
Cleveland is terrible. The mistake by the lake. So Baltimore Ravens, I think that's an easy win.
But you don't think Lamar's the MVP of the league right now, do you?
No, he's not. Sorry, Deion.
He's definitely
Sorry, Deion.
See, he boxes me in. He says outrageous things, and then I have to use common sense, and then he's like, "Oh, you're a hater." I love Lamar. He's an incredible.
You don't
quarterback.
love Lamar.
I would
You do
love.
not love
if the
Lamar.
Chicago Bears could sign Lamar, I would do it in a second. It would be the
I
greatest
wouldn't
fucking day of
allow
my
him
life.
to go there. I would not allow him to go there.
No, that's probably a good idea. I actually love Lamar so much. I don't want him to go to the Bears. That's how much I love Lamar.
That is true
Yeah.
love. That's true love. Deion, did you end up talking to Dave? I know he was tweeting about it when he said he wanted to hear you on 60
I
Minutes.
just tweeted back to him. I tweeted back to him.
Yeah.
I tweeted back to him. I didn't.
Eventually, when
talk
he
to
gets back, I can imagine that this will be. We
Yes.
always argue about Lamar
Yes.
Jackson. All right, let's go to the Bucs at the Panthers. Nick, you talked about Tom Brady earlier and what's going on with them. The Panthers down bad. Matt Rule was fired a couple weeks ago. What do you think about this game?
This one's an easy one for the Buccaneers. They have to have it. It needs to be a blowout. I don't think the Carolina Panthers have anything going for them right now. So that's an easy call for me.
Dave, or excuse me, Dan?
That's
Sorry.
okay. Bucks, easy.
Deion?
The Carolina Panthers got rid of a head coach and an insubordinate player in weeks back to back. So I'm going with Tom Brady, Nim, in the Bucs.
Okay, Dan, the Falcons at the Bengals.
Yeah, I think the Bengals figured something out a little bit against the Saints. It felt like what we saw last year at the end of the year where their first half defense isn't great. Their second half makes a lot of adjustments. They shut out the Saints, or they didn't shut them out, but I think they held them to 6 points. The big plays between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I'm taking the Bengals here.
Nick?
I'm with Dan on this one, but I am a little bit of a homer as I grew up a Cincinnati fan. So I'm going the Bengals. I just don't see the Falcons getting past Jamar Chase. Like, he's making touchdowns.
It's fun to watch. Deion, I know how you normally feel about
Yeah,
the Falcons.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Falcons going to take me to the end, and they're going to end up winning the game, but I'm going to stick with these two guys and go with the Bengals. But the Falcons are going to win that game. I'm just scared. I can't take the Falcons.
It's fair. They've hurt you too much when we pick games.
Oh, my God, have they.
Okay, Deion, right back to you. We'll go Lions at the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott is back, which obviously Cooper Rush had a good few games, but the shininess kind of fell off of him last week.
Well, we said the Cooper Rush is a great relief pitcher. You can't leave a guy in there over 5 innings. He's going to get hammered. I mean, that's just who he is. You got to understand that. Detroit tricked me early on. I really thought they were going to be someone other than the Detroit Lions, and they proved to me that they are the Detroit Lions. And I think Dak is back, right?
Yes, he is back.
Yep, so I'm picking the Cowboys in the landslide.
All right, Nick?
I had the Cowboys, but now I kind of like Detroit. I kind of like it.
With Dak?
Coming off a bye, Dak being rusty, I don't know if I'm switching. I'm going back to Detroit.
That was just a feeling you had right now.
Don't do it.
I saw it. I had it written down.
You know what?
I switched it.
Got to go with your gut feeling.
Went with the gut feeling.
That's a good,
All right,
that's a
Dan?
good pick. That's a ballsy pick. The Cowboys are going to kill him. That was so stupid.
No, they're coming off the
And it's
bye.
on Dave's record, so I'm actually happy.
Oh, yeah, that is true. All these picks are kind of up in the air of if it's a spite pick or if it's a real pick. So.
Yeah, like a bye just fixes their defense?
Yes, they're
Okay.
able to game plan. They're able to look back, see what went right, what went wrong.
Everything went wrong for their defense.
Problem solved. They had a week to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you Sunday.
All right, let's go Packers at Commanders, Nick.
This one, I think the embarrassment of losing at home against the Jets has got to get Aaron going, so I'm taking Green Bay.
Dan?
I'm taking the Commanders.
Really?
Nick, don't do that. Dan,
Just because, is it a petty thing?
It's because I think very similar to like Russell Wilson in Denver. I don't think anyone likes Carson Wentz in Washington. He's hurt. Taylor Heineke makes plays. You get that one game of a crazy backup quarterback that thinks they're better than they are. I'm taking the Commanders.
And you and Eddie had a little side conversation. Nobody else could hear it.
The Packers are bad. The Packers
And
are
you
bad.
mentioned you think they could be bad.
They're broken. They're a broken team, and I'm enjoying it, and I think the Commanders can shock the world.
And Deion, Aaron Rodgers after the game.
You're going to get in trouble about my Lions pick? Hold on.
Yeah, that was stupid. I'm smart. Yeah. No, I got it.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Just I wanted to clarify.
Deion, after the game last week, Aaron Rodgers coming out and using a bunch of fancy words, but basically saying he just wants the offense to be simplified for him. He wants the ball in his hands. Are you concerned about the Packers like Dan is?
No, I'm not concerned about the Packers, but Aaron can't say that kind of stuff. I'm pretty much sure he runs that during offense. I'm pretty much sure he runs that during offensive meeting. So he can't really say that. You can't throw his coaches up under the bus like that. But I'm going with the Packers.
Okay. Dan, the Texans at the Raiders. Both teams coming off a bye.
Both teams coming off a
Fixing
bye.
things.
Raiders will beat the Texans. I don't think the Raiders are good. I just think the Texans are bad. And you're taking a home team here with the Raiders. They can score. So, yeah, give me the Raiders.
Nick?
I don't like the game. I think it's going to be a terrible game, but I think the Raiders will pull it out.
And Deion?
The Raiders might be one of the biggest disappointments in the NFL this season. I mean, when you talk about underachieved, this team has truly underachieved. But they're playing against the darn Texans, so I'm taking with the Raiders.
Yeah, it's a gross game. It's not a great one. All right, Deion, back to you. We'll do the Seahawks at the Chargers, and the Seahawks 3-3, the Chargers 4-2. But Geno Smith playing really well for Seattle.
Geno is balling. I said last week, Geno has extended his career by at least 3 years. I don't think they have enough to go against that Chargers defense. I like the Chargers. I love their quarterback. I just love that team. I'm going with the Chargers.
Nick?
I don't think Geno's going to be able to keep this up. I think the other shoe is going to drop soon, and so I think this is going to be the game. Chargers is the pick.
All right, Dan?
I agree with Nick. It's a nice story. He's playing really well. I think the Chargers are a more talented team.
Okay, let's go to Sunday Night Football. It's the Steelers at the Dolphins. Dan, I will start with you. You're a believer in the Steelers now because of Jersey Jerry.
Yeah.
Tua is back, though.
Jerry left,
Don't do
so
it.
I'm taking the
Don't do
Dolphins.
it.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no,
You're a
he
good
left.
man.
He left.
Oh, he's
Jerry
not
left.
here.
He left.
Oh,
So
his
if he's
seat is
going to take
empty.
a half day at work, I'll just take the Dolphins. I don't care.
Yeah, if he was here, though,
I would take the Steelers.
even
Out of
though
respect.
Tua's back?
Yeah. No, I'd take the Steelers out of respect.
Okay, well,
Now
hopefully
I
he
don't have
doesn't-
to respect. He
Yeah,
didn't respect us, so he gets no respect back.
And hopefully he doesn't see this clip because I feel
Yeah.
like his feelings will be hurt. Nick?
No, he should have left then. He should have left at half day. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon right now.
Left early. That's a shame. Pittsburgh's riding high off the win. I think it's an inflated win from Tampa Bay. So Tua coming back, going down to Miami. I'm taking the Dolphins.
And Deion, you're huge on Tua, and obviously the Dolphins
You know
have
I'm a
struggled
Tua
without
guy.
him. But Tua, you are a Tua guy.
I'm a Tua guy, and those receivers with Tua, they can't wait till he gets back. They're going to pack his locker up for him. They're going to move everything for him. They're going to have his car cleaned and waxed and cleaned out in the inside. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins, man.
That's probably a safe bet. And even if Jersey Jerry was here, I think that's probably safe. Let's go to Monday Night Football. Dan, your Chicago Bears against the Patriots. I usually like to start with you with the Bears, but I'm going to let Nick have this one because earlier you mentioned, you always take the Jets no matter what. He obviously is always going to take the Bears. But just from an honesty standpoint, when you're seeing what Bailey Zappi is doing with the Patriots, do you think the Bears have a chance?
No, and it pains me to take New England. I don't want to. It's hurting me, but I mean the Bears. The Bears are not good.
I have a question for Deion and Nick.
Yep.
Let's just play a game. Who do you think the best coach in the NFL is?
The guy down there in New England still.
Okay.
A guy named Belichick.
Okay. Who do you think the best coach in the history of the NFL is?
Belichick.
Probably Belichick. Okay. Bill Belichick said today, the Bears are a really impressive group with a lot of promising young talent. And he said about Justin Fields, he's a major threat every time he touches the ball. So
that means he's gonna kill him.
the best coach of all time said that.
I say that same stuff when I know I'm going to kill a team. I'm just letting you know
so
from
my
a coach's
pick is the Bears.
perspective.
I'm just following what Bill Belichick said. He said they're a very promising young talent team.
If you go back and look at what Bill has said over the years, multiple
It's the first
years.
time I've ever heard him praise anyone.
Anyone?
Anyone.
I will say, I think it's the first time you've ever written his quote down and brought it to set.
I had to. I knew the quote was coming because he does do this literally every single week where he's like, this player's an incredible player, and you're like, are you talking about Drew Lock? And but this is a game that I will most likely have my Twitter get hacked around the first quarter.
It's also a fair move.
Yeah.
Deion?
You know who I'm going with, Patriots. I would never pick the Bears as long as Dan is on the set. I'd never pick the Bears.
And before we move off of this game, there's been all the weird drama this week, and I think John Feidelberg was the one that kind of blew the doors open on this narrative that Mac Jones didn't want to see Bailey Zappi playing, and some media in Boston got duped by Twitter trolls. But when you look at what Bailey Zappi is doing, is there a quarterback controversy in New England? I know people kind of want to create one, but is there, Dan?
The only reason I would say yes is because Bill Belichick has shown in probably the most famous case that's ever happened in the NFL when he went to Tom Brady over Drew Bledsoe, that if Bailey Zappi keeps winning, he'll ride the hot hand. If you ask Bill Belichick right now, Mac Jones is his guy and is the more talented quarterback right now. But if Bailey Zappi wins and plays mistake-free football with the way this team is designed to play defense and run the ball, it might just be old school Bill Belichick. He's like, I got to keep going with this guy.
I like that. We just had a scout here from the Darren Patriots, and I said, what is it about you guys that separates you in the scouting? He said a lot of teams pick, when they rank these guys on the board, second round, third round, whatever they are, he said we pick on need. We don't care about this. If we need this type of player, we take him. We don't care where the round is. We take him. So in saying that, if a quarterback's in there doing what he needs to do for them to win right now at this point, Bill Belichick is going to ride him. He's going to put a saddle on him and ride him like a horse till he can't be ridden anymore. So I agree with that scout 100%, and that really enlightened me. So I'm going with the Patriots. But I like what you said for the first time ever.
Yeah, for the first time ever. And Nick, from an offensive line standpoint, I mean, both of these guys are young. Obviously, it's not like you've got a veteran guy versus a brand new guy that's in because they're hurt. Would that sway your decision at all if you hear one way or the other? If
Not
there's
really,
drama?
but Dan actually put it great, which, not being a football mind, he said it pretty solidly.
Very good.
There you go.
No, 4 and 10. 4 and 10 last week. He doesn't make mistakes, and that's what Bill's looking for. And especially as an offensive lineman, if you have a quarterback back there, he might not be breaking the doors down and throwing the bombs and making all these great yards and passing plays. But as long as he's not making mistakes, you're very happy with that. And I think Bill's happy with that. And so, like he said, he'll ride him because he knows what he's going to get out of him. He knows he's going to make the right plays when he needs to.
3 football minds all agree.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I made an astute point. Deion and Nick just copied my point. Just put a bow on this whole thing.
Wrap it up.
That's all we needed to know.
Yep.
Dan was right.
I was the leader in that.
All right, let's get to the primetime pick of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. So everybody won last week. Dan, I know you are out for the month of October.
There you go.
But Nick, this is a survivor pool each month because they all lost in September, so we had to start over.
No. They didn't all
You won.
lose,
You
did
won.
they?
You won. I'm saying that
Okay.
it was over with. So you won.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
I just
you-
wanted Nick to know that, so he'll know where we stand.
Deion is the September winner. So right now it's Dave and Deion going at it for October. So just keep that in mind when you make your pick. Deion, I will let you go first. Who is
Thank you.
your pick this week?
I'm going with my guy Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
That's my pick.
All right, Nick, who's Dave taking this week?
Dave's taking Tampa. Has to win.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
That's a good pick. It wasn't the Ohio State-Michigan bias that came in to throw him under. It's
No, because I
actually a
even
good
went
pick.
with the Michigan quarterback and Tom.
Yep.
Listen, I try to be as unbiased as possible.
There you
Do
go.
Good job here.
All
My
right,
pick
Dan.
doesn't matter. I'm taking Tampa. My pick doesn't matter.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah, I know.
But smart pick.
I know. Thank
Smart
you.
It was a good
That's
pick.
good pick.
Football minds. All
Way to
right.
copy off Nick, too. Way to copy off Nick once again.
Just worry about Campbell fighting camels, okay?
Yeah. I can't believe he actually did the homework to find out the name.
And again, it's just we do record this early in the week, so when this is happening, we'll already know that you won by
50
100
burger.
points.
Jackson State 50
Yeah, we
burger.
already know.
They put it on him.
Campbell's good. Campbell's really good.
Yeah, you're doing the Bill Belichick. Okay, I see it.
Right there. All right, Nick, thanks for being on the show today. We enjoyed it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And you know, Dan taught you a little bit about football. Deion, you guys, you know.
Yeah, Nick's a champ. He just got to stay away from that guy. You should sit on the other side of Kayce and move me over. Right.
All right, anything else, guys?
No.
Nope.
All right, you guys have a great week. We'll be back next week.
November 11th, we are bringing the Barstool Invitational to the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. That's right, the captain of Philly is bringing our first college basketball tournament. We're doing it all. Halftime show, announcing, tickets, you name it, all us. Game 1, 5 p.m. It is UAB versus Toledo. Game 2, Mississippi State versus Akron. We're doing it all. You want a unique basketball experience? Buy your tickets today. They're cheap. Time of your life. Bang! Buy.